Imagine waking up one morning with the quiet, unsettling feeling that something is fundamentally wrong with reality. Not broken, just off. As if the universe around you, your home, your memories, the sky above, were part of a story whose true beginning had been deliberately hidden. This is where our journey begins, with a question that feels impossible, absurd, even dangerous to ask. Yet once spoken aloud, it refuses to leave the mind. What if everything we know, everything we believe about the cosmos, about space, about the birth of existence itself, is wrong? What if humans do not live in a universe floating freely in an endless cosmic ocean, but instead inside a far more confined, far more mysterious place? What if our entire reality is happening inside a black hole? It sounds like science fiction, a dramatic twist reserved for films or novels, but in modern physics, this question sits uncomfortably close to possibility. And the moment it enters your thoughts, something strange begins to happen. Familiar things become unfamiliar. The blue sky, the soft pull of Earth's gravity, the expansion of the universe, the passage of time. All of it begins to shift, as if each everyday experience contains a secret message in plain sight. Black holes are the universe's most feared monsters. Regions where gravity becomes so powerful that nothing can escape, not even light. Places where the rules of physics twist, fail, and rewrite themselves. And yet, inside that horror lies something beautiful, something profound. A shape, a structure, a doorway to new realities. When a star dies and collapses under its own weight, its core compresses into a singular point, surrounded by a boundary called the event horizon. Once you cross that boundary, the universe you knew ceases to exist. Time, space, and causality move in ways no human intuition can grasp. But what if this concept, this terrifying, collapsing star, holds the key to understanding where we truly are? Picture the entire universe you live in. Billions of galaxies drifting apart, cosmic background radiation humming softly in every direction, time moving steadily forward. Now imagine all of it, everything from the birth of the first atom to the web of galaxies stretching across the sky, existing not as an independent realm, but as the interior of a cosmic black hole formed in a higher dimensional universe we cannot access. This idea is not mythology, not mysticism, but an actual scientific hypothesis explored by respected physicists. And the more one looks at our universe through this lens, the more unsettling patterns begin to emerge. Because if we truly lived inside a cosmic black hole, many of the mysteries haunting cosmology would suddenly make sense. The horizon of our visible universe would behave just like an event horizon. The smoothness of cosmic background radiation would match the expected conditions inside a black hole's interior. Even the accelerating expansion of space, the phenomenon scientists cannot fully explain, might reveal itself as the internal stretching caused by gravitational dynamics beyond our comprehension. But before we can explore those mysteries, we must confront the emotional weight of the question. For if we are inside a black hole, then the universe is not infinite. It has boundaries. Boundaries we cannot see. Boundaries we can never cross. The world we know, our galaxies, our planets, our memories, would be happening within a cosmic structure whose outer surface traps light, energy, and information. A structure that may itself be drifting through a larger universe like a tiny glowing seed. Think of the contrast. Humans walk on Earth believing they understand their place, believing the universe above is open, free, unlimited. Yet hidden beneath that comforting belief lies a shadow. A possibility that the cosmos is far smaller and far stranger than we ever imagined. Not a vast open expanse, but a self-contained realm born in the death of another world. And if that is true, then who, or what, created our universe? A collapsing star in another reality? A cosmic cycle repeating itself across dimensions? An ancient chain of universes giving birth to universes, each one forming inside a black hole of the previous? These are not merely scientific questions. They strike at the heart of what it means to exist. If we are inside a black hole, then the story of where we came from is dramatically different from what we've been taught. Our universe's beginning was not an expansion into nothingness. It was the final breath of a sun in a realm beyond our own. But there is something even more unsettling. If we are inside a black hole, then time itself behaves differently than we think. What we experience as billions of years may be only moments outside. Our future may already be written in the gravitational fold that shaped spacetime at the moment of creation. Every cosmic event, from galaxy formation to the rise of human life, may be part of a structure defined by forces far beyond our reach. And yet, there is a strange comfort in the idea. Because living inside a black hole does not make our lives meaningless. Instead, it places us inside a cosmic womb, a universe protected, sealed, shaped by forces that create more than they destroy. A universe that may hold its own purpose, its own destiny, its own identity. This is where the mystery begins. And once the question is asked, once you entertain the possibility that humans live inside a cosmic black hole, every assumption about reality becomes a clue. Every familiar feature of the cosmos becomes a whisper of hidden truth. And the journey to uncover that truth has only just begun. Gravity is the silent architect of the universe. We feel it every moment of our lives, yet its true nature remains one of the greatest mysteries in all of science. It tugs on the oceans, shapes the planets, binds the stars, and sculpts the galaxies. But under the right conditions, gravity becomes something far more sinister, far more powerful than anything the human mind can naturally comprehend. When pushed to its absolute limit, gravity transforms from a gentle force into a cosmic prison, a place where space folds in on itself and time slows to a suffocating crawl. And inside that prison lies the possibility that our entire universe could be trapped. To understand this, imagine a massive star nearing the end of its life. For millions of years, it has balanced the forces fighting inside it. Fusion pushing outward, gravity pulling inward. But eventually the fusion ends. The outward pressure collapses and gravity, unopposed, wins. In seconds, the star implodes, its core crushed beneath unimaginable weight. Space twists. Time distorts. Light itself becomes unable to escape the gravitational surge. A black hole is born, and with it, a region where the normal rules of reality fracture. Inside this monstrous creation, gravity no longer behaves like the gentle pull we experience on Earth. Instead, it becomes a force so overpowering that the fabric of the cosmos bends toward a single point. That point is the singularity, the densest place in the universe, a region where matter is squeezed into an infinitesimal size. But the strangest part isn't the singularity itself. It's what happens on the way to it. As an object falls into a black hole, something eerie occurs. To an outside observer, the object never quite crosses the event horizon. It appears to slow down, dim, stretch, and freeze in time. But from the object's own perspective, it crosses the boundary normally, experiencing the warped interior directly. This dual viewpoint, one reality seen from the outside, another experience from within, is the first hint that black holes distort not only space and time but also the meaning of existence itself. Now imagine scaling this phenomenon upward. Picture a black hole so massive, so colossal, that its interior geometry expands rather than collapses. Imagine a black hole whose inside is not a point, not a tiny crushed realm, but something vast, an entire universe. This is where the mystery surrounding our own existence deepens. Because in the mathematics of general relativity, there is nothing preventing the inside of a black hole from appearing to expand when observed by anything caught within it. In fact, the equations strongly suggest it. Gravity in this scenario becomes both destroyer and creator. It crushes the parent star, yet gives birth to a new cosmic space inside. And if such a space existed, the beings living inside it would have no idea they were trapped. To them, the interior would look like a complete universe, expanding, cooling, filled with galaxies, with planets, with life. There would be no obvious walls, no visible boundary, no sign that they lived inside a gravitational prison. The event horizon would be invisible from within. And the singularity, the origin point, would feel like the Big Bang. From this perspective, gravity is not just a force but a storyteller, a sculptor of illusions. It creates a self-contained stage where life can form and evolve, shielded from the outside universe. But the protection comes with confinement. The event horizon becomes a cosmic one-way gate. Nothing escapes. Nothing enters. A universe sealed by gravity itself. The question then becomes, could our universe be such a place? If so, we would expect certain clues. The geometry of space would need to behave like a black hole's interior. Time would need to follow patterns consistent with gravitational warping. The expansion of the cosmos might reflect the stretching of space caused by the gravity of a parent universe. And there would be a boundary beyond which nothing can be observed, the cosmic horizon. All these clues exist in our universe today, waiting to be interpreted. But before we explore those clues, consider the emotional weight of this concept. For centuries, humans looked up at the night sky believing it stretched endlessly. The universe, they thought, was a limitless ocean. But modern physics challenges this comforting picture. What if the universe is not infinite? What if its expansion is not freedom but a symptom of being inside a higher dimensional gravitational collapse? What if our cosmic horizon is not a distant frontier but the inner edge of an event horizon we can never cross? The prison in this sense is elegant. It doesn't confine with walls or bars. It confines with geometry, with the way light travels, with the way time flows, with the very structure of reality. Gravity becomes the warden, holding everything inside, ensuring nothing ever escapes the cosmic boundary. And yet those on the inside would never feel trapped. They would never see the walls. They would never sense the direction of confinement. Their world would appear open, infinite, boundless, until the clues reveal a different truth. The contrast is haunting. The universe feels endless, but its laws whisper that it may be enclosed. It feels timeless, but its origin suggests a collapse. It feels free, yet it may be imprisoned. This contrast creates a tension at the heart of our existence, a quiet unease beneath the surface of everyday life. Because if gravity can bend a star into a black hole, shaping a new reality inside it, then perhaps we are the inhabitants of that hidden interior, unaware that everything we know lies within the ruins of another universe. And if that is true, then humanity's most fundamental belief, that we live in an open cosmic realm, may be an illusion created by the very structure of space. Our universe might not be the kingdom of freedom we imagine, but a beautifully crafted gravitational chamber, vast enough to feel infinite, yet sealed tight by forces beyond our comprehension. This is the possibility we now confront. That gravity, the invisible force guiding our every step, may also be the architect of our cosmic confinement. And the more we explore this idea, the clearer the clues become. The prison is not dark or terrifying, it is grand, luminous, filled with galaxies. But make no mistake, if we are inside a black hole, then our universe is not what it seems. And the next step in our journey is to confront the boundaries that define it. The event horizon is the most terrifying, mesmerizing boundary in the known universe. It is the place where reality fractures, where the comfortable laws of physics that guide our everyday lives lose their meaning. To an outside observer, the event horizon appears silent, smooth, almost serene. But this calmness hides a truth so violent, so alien, that even light itself cannot reveal it. This boundary is the edge of knowledge, the final curtain beyond which nothing returns. And if our universe truly exists inside a black hole, then we may be living within the ultimate event horizon, unaware that we move deeper into its interior with every passing moment. To understand why the event horizon is so mysterious, imagine floating near the surface of a cosmic abyss. You try to shine a flashlight outward, and the beam bends inward, pulled back by gravity's irresistible grip. You try to escape, firing rockets, struggling against the pull, but no matter how hard you fight, escape is impossible. At this boundary, gravity becomes so strong that every possible future leads inward. Even the future of light itself. The event horizon is not just a place. It is a destiny. A point of no return. The paradox begins when we consider what different observers see. To someone falling into a black hole, the crossing of the event horizon feels strangely normal. There is no crash, no jolt, no dramatic tearing of spacetime. They simply drift across the boundary, unaware they have passed the last exit of the universe. But to someone watching from afar, the story looks drastically different. They would see the falling object slow down, fade, stretch, and freeze, forever suspended at the edge, never quite crossing. Time outside stretches endlessly while time inside rushes forward. This contradiction, woven into the fabric of general relativity, creates one of the most mind-bending illusions in the cosmos. Now extend this phenomenon to an entire universe. If the boundary of our observable cosmos behaves like an event horizon, then what we see as the limit of the universe is not a frontier of openness but the inner edge of a cosmic trap. The fading galaxies at the edge of visibility, the cosmic microwave background that forms a soft glowing wall, the accelerating expansion. These may not be random mysteries but the signatures of an invisible horizon surrounding us. Imagine standing on Earth, looking up at a night sky full of stars. Everything feels peaceful. But beneath this serenity lies a truth. The universe has an edge beyond which light will never reach us. This boundary expands faster than light itself, hiding anything beyond it forever. We treat it as a simple consequence of cosmic expansion. But what if it is something far stranger? What if the cosmic horizon is the inner surface of an event horizon, a gravitational wall surrounding our universe, trapping all information inside? This idea reframes everything. The universe is no longer an open realm but a sealed chamber. Every photon, every galaxy, every atom is locked inside a horizon we cannot cross. There is no escape, not because of distance, but because the geometry of space makes escape impossible. We are drifting not through empty space but deeper through the interior of a black hole's warped spacetime. And from our perspective, everything appears normal, even beautiful. The paradox becomes more haunting when we consider information. In classical physics, anything that crosses an event horizon disappears forever. But modern theories argue that information cannot be destroyed. So where does it go? Is it smeared across the horizon's surface? Is it encoded in hidden dimensions? Is it stored in a holographic pattern we cannot yet decode? If we live inside a black hole, then every moment of our lives, every memory, every action may be recorded on a cosmic surface we will never see. The event horizon is the ultimate storyteller. It shapes the narrative of the universe inside it. It defines what can be known and what is forever hidden. And in doing so, it creates a paradox. A place where information is trapped yet somehow preserved, where space expands inside while collapsing outside, where time flows differently depending on your point of view. But the deepest mystery lies in what happens beyond the horizon. Traditional black hole models describe a point-like singularity, a place where physics breaks and spacetime collapses. But newer theories suggest something far more fascinating. The inside of a black hole may not collapse to a single point. It may open into a vast new region of spacetime, a realm with its own geometry, its own timeline, its own cosmic history. A realm that could look exactly like our universe. Imagine the moment a massive star dies. Its core collapses, forming a black hole. But instead of ending, something begins. Space stretches inward. Time unfolds. A new universe forms inside the collapse, expanding from the singularity outward. To observers inside, this expansion looks like a big bang. A moment of creation. A burst of radiation. A rapid stretching of space. But from the outside, what appears to be the end of a star is actually the birth of a universe. And if our universe is the inside of a black hole, then the event horizon is not a distant wall but the boundary we see as the edge of the cosmos. It is the place where our observable universe ends, not because there is nothing beyond it but because we can never see what lies farther. The horizon is our prison, our shield, our cosmic limit. It defines the size of our universe and the information we can access. The paradox grows even deeper when we examine the smoothness of the cosmic microwave background. This radiation is almost perfectly uniform, far more uniform than classical cosmology can explain. But inside a black hole, such uniformity is expected. The collapse that forms the black hole smooths out irregularities, creating a consistent interior structure. In other words, the eerie perfection of the cosmic background radiation may not be a random coincidence. It may be a fingerprint. The fingerprint of an event horizon's influence. And then there is the expansion of space itself. Our universe is not just expanding, it is accelerating. This acceleration is so strange, so unexpected, that scientists introduced the concept of dark energy to explain it. But inside a black hole, space can stretch in ways that mimic accelerated expansion. The horizon's geometry influences the interior, creating patterns that feel like cosmic acceleration. Everything, the horizon, the expansion, the uniformity, aligns with the idea that our universe has the same mathematical structure as the inside of a black hole. This leads to a haunting possibility. The event horizon is not out there in the distance. It is the invisible boundary we call the cosmic horizon. We cannot see it. We cannot touch it. But it shapes our universe from all sides. It defines what we are allowed to experience. It hides the truth of our origin. And like all event horizons, it presents us with a paradox. We see the universe expanding. But perhaps what we see is not expansion. It is the illusion created by falling deeper into a gravitational interior. We are not watching the universe grow. We are watching ourselves descend. The birth of a universe is often imagined as a singular, explosive event, a big bang radiating energy, matter and light into an empty void. But what if the Big Bang was not an explosion in nothingness, but the interior awakening of a black hole in a parent universe? Imagine a colossal star somewhere beyond the limits of our comprehension, collapsing under its own weight, its core imploding into a singularity. From that collapse, a new space begins to unfold, expanding outward in every direction, forming galaxies, stars, and planets. From the perspective of beings inside, this moment appears as the origin of everything. But to the outside, it is merely the death of a star swallowed by gravity. Creation and destruction, beginning and end, entwined in a cosmic paradox. Inside this newborn universe, everything behaves as if it has always existed. Time stretches and space inflates. Fundamental forces, gravity, electromagnetism, nuclear interactions, set the rules, forming a delicate ballet of matter and energy. The first photons of light scatter, seeding the cosmic microwave background, the faint echo of an event no living creature can witness. From inside, the universe seems limitless, boundless, and eternal. Yet the memory of the parent black hole lurks in every corner. In the geometry of space, in the rate of expansion, in the unseen horizon that defines the limits of the observable. Creation is not spontaneous. It is born from collapse, from gravity, from a structure imposed by a previous reality. This duality, birth from death, creates a strange tension. On one hand, there is the wonder of creation, the birth of stars, the formation of galaxies, the appearance of conditions capable of sustaining life. On the other hand, there is the inescapable shadow of collapse, the knowledge that everything we see emerged from a crushing, violent event. Life and matter, as we know them, exist inside a cage woven by gravitational forces beyond our comprehension. Yet the cage itself contains the possibility of beauty, of complexity, of consciousness. It is as if the universe is a phoenix rising from the ashes of a collapsed star, infinite and confined at once. Physicists have explored models that support this idea. In some solutions to Einstein's field equations, the interior of a black hole can resemble an inflating universe, a three-dimensional space expanding outward from a singularity. Space itself stretches as though it were born in a cosmic breath, and matter behaves as though time and causality were normal. In these models, the singularity does not simply end reality, it begins another. Every particle, every photon, every ripple of energy follows the new geometry, constructing a cosmos that feels autonomous, free, and complete. Yet all of it is shaped, controlled, and defined by the parent black hole. Visualize this concept as a cinematic scene. A massive star collapses, a fiery implosion sending ripples of gravitational waves through its surroundings. Light bends inward, matter compresses beyond comprehension, and yet at the very heart, a bubble of space inflates silently. Inside this bubble, galaxies form, stars ignite, and planets begin their slow dance. Time flows forward, civilizations may arise, consciousness may emerge, all within the invisible interior of a stellar grave. To the inhabitants inside, nothing seems unusual. To the universe outside, it is simply a singularity devouring light. The birth of a universe and the death of a star are inseparably intertwined. One of the most striking aspects of this idea is its ability to explain the puzzling features of our own cosmos. Why is the universe so uniform? Why does cosmic background radiation display such evenness across vast distances? Why is expansion accelerating in a manner that defies intuitive explanation? If our universe is the interior of a black hole, then these features are not anomalies, they are expected. The collapse of the parent star and the boundary imposed by its event horizon naturally create conditions that produce uniformity, stretch space, and warp time. The universe appears smooth, accelerating, and vast not because it is free, but because its initial conditions were shaped by a gravitational womb. Yet the emotional resonance of this theory is profound. It forces us to reconsider everything we believe about beginnings. The universe is not born from a void. It is not a singular miracle. It is born from something older, something greater, something we may never see. The stars, the galaxies, the cosmic web, they are not the ultimate origin. They are the offspring of a structure that itself collapsed. The universe is a continuation, a product of repetition, of cycles, of forces beyond human comprehension. Birth is inseparable from death, and creation always carries the shadow of destruction. In this context, life itself becomes even more remarkable. Consciousness, evolution, and civilization emerge inside a universe born of collapse. Every living being is a product of the intricate geometry of spacetime, the interplay of gravity and expansion, the subtle balance that allowed matter to coalesce into stars and planets. Life arises inside a cage, yet that cage is breathtakingly beautiful. There is wonder in realizing that our existence, our ability to perceive, think, and question, is shaped by the interior of a cosmic black hole. The very conditions that could have been hostile, that could have erased all potential for complexity, instead provide the stage for consciousness to awaken. The contrast between the violent birth and the serene cosmos it produces is stark. One imagines a catastrophic implosion. Mass crushed, light extinguished, matter driven to extremes. And yet, from that very collapse, an entire universe unfolds, a vast, expanding tapestry of stars and galaxies, radiating light and energy, forming structures that defy imagination. The violent past becomes the nurturing womb for the future. It is a paradox that mirrors the duality of existence. Creation and destruction, freedom and confinement, hope and inevitability, all intertwined in a cosmic dance. As we peer deeper into this possibility, the questions multiply. Could our universe's expansion be the echo of the parent black hole's geometry? Could dark energy be the residual effect of gravitational forces beyond our horizon? Could the limits we perceive in space, the speed of light, and the structure of fundamental laws all be artifacts of the conditions set by the collapse that birthed us? Each question is both a scientific inquiry and a philosophical puzzle, pulling us further into the realization that our origins may be far stranger than we have ever imagined. And yet, within the grandeur of this scenario, there is also a sense of wonder. To exist inside such a universe is to be part of a cosmic miracle. The collapse of a distant star, unimaginably violent, has created a domain where life, consciousness, and reflection are possible. The cosmos is simultaneously terrifying and beautiful, confining and liberating, destructive and generative. Our existence may be the product of a cosmic rhythm, a repeating pattern of collapse and birth, a universe inside a universe, an endless chain of creation emerging from death. This is the paradox of the birth of a universe. It is violent yet beautiful, confined yet vast, singular yet expansive. If our universe emerged from a black hole, then every structure we observe, every particle, every atom, every moment in time, is a product of a cosmic event far beyond our perception. We are, in essence, the descendants of a star that died in another reality. And the realization is both humbling and terrifying. Our entire cosmos, with its infinite complexity and beauty, may have been born from the ultimate act of destruction. Imagine the universe as a vast, fragile egg floating in the cosmic void, its interior filled with galaxies, stars, and planets. The shell of this egg is invisible, unseen, yet omnipresent, defining the limits of everything we can observe. Inside, life unfolds, time flows, and consciousness awakens, all seemingly free, yet secretly confined. This is the essence of the cosmic egg hypothesis. The idea that our universe may be the interior of a massive, black hole-shaped shell, a universe born and bounded by the structure of a collapsed star in a higher dimension. To an observer inside, the shell is imperceptible. To the universe itself, the shell defines everything, space, time, and reality itself. The analogy of the egg captures the paradoxical nature of such a universe. The shell is both protective and restrictive. It shields the interior from the chaos of the parent universe, yet also confines it, enforcing boundaries we may never detect. Within this shell, space can expand, galaxies can form, and life can emerge, but the outer edge remains unreachable, forever sealing the universe from the greater cosmos beyond. Every photon, every wave, every particle of matter is constrained within the geometry dictated by this invisible boundary. Yet despite this confinement, the universe appears limitless, infinite, and boundless from the perspective of its inhabitants. This duality is at once beautiful and terrifying. Consider the metaphor in vivid, cinematic detail. A glowing, translucent shell stretching across dimensions, curving and folding in ways our minds cannot fully comprehend. Inside, a newborn galaxy ignites, its light scattering in patterns determined by the geometry of the shell. Nebulae swirl, stars form and die, and planets drift silently in orbits set by invisible laws. Light curves, time stretches, and the fabric of space bends, all under the subtle influence of the shell that cradles the universe. Life arises, civilizations flourish, and yet all of this occurs within a boundary that is simultaneously everywhere and nowhere, defining the cosmos without ever being seen. The cosmic egg hypothesis resonates with ancient myths and philosophical ideas as well. Across cultures, humans have imagined the world as an egg, a cosmic vessel containing life, creation, and the elements of existence. In many myths, the universe hatches from this egg, bringing forth the stars, the sun, and the earth. Modern physics may be echoing these ancient intuitions. Perhaps the egg is not merely metaphorical. Perhaps it is literal, expressed in the mathematics of black holes and the geometry of spacetime. The universe as a shell, as an interior of a gravitational structure, merges poetic wonder with scientific theory, blending myth and reality into a single, breathtaking vision. Within this framework, every cosmic observation takes on new meaning. The uniformity of cosmic background radiation is no longer an anomaly. The accelerating expansion of the universe is no longer inexplicable. Both could be natural consequences of existing inside a shell, a boundary created by the gravitational collapse of a higher dimensional star. The interior of the egg is not arbitrary. It is shaped by laws and structures inherited from the parent black hole. Every galaxy, every cosmic filament, every quantum fluctuation carries a trace of the collapse that birthed it. The universe is both free and constrained, a delicate dance of creation inside an invisible prison. Yet there is also a profound sense of intimacy in this image. The cosmic egg is not hostile. It is a container for life, for thought, for wonder. It shields the interior from the chaos of the parent universe while allowing complexity to develop. Space can stretch, stars can form, and consciousness can emerge, all within a carefully balanced system. It is a paradoxical womb, violent in origin, yet nurturing in function. It suggests that creation may always arise from destruction, that confinement may be the precondition for possibility, and that our universe, with all its complexity and beauty, exists because of forces far beyond our perception. The psychological and philosophical implications are immense. To realize that we live inside a cosmic egg is to confront the fragility of our existence, the limits of our perception, and the vastness of forces shaping reality. Every observation we make, every discovery we achieve, every understanding we gain is influenced by the invisible boundaries surrounding us. The laws of physics, the constants of nature, the very structure of space and time may be consequences of this confinement. And yet, within these limits, life flourishes, thought emerges, and consciousness awakens. The universe is at once constrained and magnificent, a paradox of freedom within boundaries. The cosmic egg also deepens the mystery of origin. If our universe is inside a black hole, then its birth was not a singular event in isolation. It was part of a cosmic chain reaction, one universe collapsing to create another, an endless sequence of birth and death, each universe cradled inside the remains of its predecessor. The shell is not merely a limit, it is a connector, a link between realities, a bridge between cosmic generations. Our existence is simultaneously extraordinary and ordinary. Extraordinary because we occupy a universe born of a cosmic collapse. Ordinary because this process may have repeated countless times across dimensions we cannot access. Visualizing this is both haunting and exhilarating. The shell of the egg is invisible, yet its presence is undeniable. Light curves along its geometry, time bends within its confines, and the cosmic landscape emerges as a consequence of its shape. Every planet, every star, every galaxy owes its existence to the hidden architecture of this shell. Life, consciousness, and even the potential for knowledge are permitted by its balance. The universe is simultaneously open and closed, infinite and bounded, free and confined. It is a cosmic paradox writ large, a mystery that challenges both science and imagination. And yet, for those inside, the egg feels limitless. There are no walls. There is no ceiling. The night sky stretches endlessly, the galaxies drift outward, and time flows as it always has. The shell is everywhere, shaping every moment, but remaining invisible to those who dwell within. It is both protective and constraining, a paradoxical womb that nurtures existence while defining its boundaries. The realization that our universe may be such a structure transforms our understanding of reality itself, suggesting that confinement and freedom are inseparably linked in the cosmos. The cosmic egg hypothesis compels us to reconsider our place in the universe. We are inhabitants of a self-contained reality, thriving within a structure born of destruction and shaped by forces beyond our perception. Every observation, every law, every fundamental constant may be a reflection of the shell that surrounds us. The universe is vast, radiant, and beautiful, yet secretly bounded by a gravitational architecture we cannot see. It is a cage that nurtures, a prison that sustains, a paradox of creation born from collapse. In this sense, the universe itself becomes a character, a living, breathing entity contained within a shell, evolving over eons, guided by forces unseen, shaped by origins we can only infer. And as we study the cosmos, probe its mysteries, and seek understanding, we are, in essence, exploring the interior of this cosmic egg, uncovering clues to the hidden structure that defines everything we know. Every discovery, every insight, every revelation becomes a step closer to understanding the shell, the womb, and the paradox that holds our universe together. The universe, as we perceive it, follows certain intuitive rules. Space stretches outward, time flows steadily forward, matter and energy interact according to predictable laws. But inside the heart of a black hole, intuition fails. The familiar frameworks of existence, the coordinates of space, the sequence of cause and effect, the passage of time, begin to twist and invert. Physicists have long theorized that the interior of a black hole may not be a simple void, nor a catastrophic singularity, but a strange, inside-out universe, a realm where the very fabric of reality is folded upon itself. This is the inside-out universe theory, a concept that challenges everything we believe about space-time and the cosmos. Imagine standing at the center of such a universe. Up is down, in is out. The usual markers of direction and distance lose meaning. Light does not travel in straight lines but bends along convoluted paths, tracing the curvature of a space whose geometry is beyond comprehension. Gravity no longer merely pulls, it shapes the very structure of existence, creating regions where space stretches exponentially and others where it collapses toward invisible singularities. From within, the universe expands outward as if free, yet its expansion is guided by the hidden architecture of the surrounding black hole. Every point in space is influenced by the boundaries beyond perception, folding the cosmos inward even as it appears to stretch endlessly. This inside-out geometry offers a remarkable explanation for some of the universe's deepest mysteries. Consider the uniformity of cosmic background radiation, the nearly identical glow of energy observed in every direction. Classical models of the Big Bang struggle to explain this perfect symmetry, requiring extreme fine-tuning. But if the universe exists inside a black hole, the boundaries of the horizon act as a regulating shell. The collapse of the parent star and the shaping effect of its event horizon impose order on the newborn universe. Irregularities are smoothed, energy is evenly distributed, and the universe emerges with an unexpected uniformity. What appears as cosmic coincidence is, in fact, the natural consequence of the universe's inside-out geometry. Time, too, behaves differently within this theoretical framework. Near the singularity of the parent black hole, time can stretch to infinity or collapse to near nothingness, depending on perspective. Inside, this creates layers of temporal experience. Past, present, and future intertwine in a way that defies conventional understanding. From an outside vantage point, the universe appears to be birthed in an instant, a sudden eruption of space and matter. But from within, this emergence can feel gradual, flowing, and natural, as though the universe has always existed. The paradox of time, both infinite and bounded, instantaneous and prolonged, underscores the profound strangeness of living inside an inside-out cosmos. Visualize this concept in cinematic terms. A black hole floats silently in the depths of a higher-dimensional universe. Its surface is a perfect, invisible shell, bending light and energy in every direction. Within this shell, a new universe unfurls. Galaxies spiral outward in elegant arcs, tracing paths dictated by unseen forces. Stars ignite, nebulae swirl, planets form and drift in orbit. Light twists along curved trajectories, revealing and concealing structures simultaneously. Time flows unevenly, expanding in some regions, contracting in others, yet to the inhabitants within, it feels continuous and coherent. The universe is simultaneously familiar and alien, harmonious and disorienting, expanding yet folded upon itself. The inside-out perspective also sheds light on cosmic expansion. In our observable universe, galaxies drift apart at accelerating speeds, as if some unseen energy is pushing them outward. Dark energy has been proposed as the explanation, a mysterious force driving the acceleration. But in an inside-out universe, this expansion is a natural effect of the geometry itself. The curvature of space-time within the black hole causes regions to stretch away from each other. The acceleration is not an anomaly, not a mystery, it is a consequence of being inside a structure that folds space in ways beyond ordinary comprehension. The universe grows, not through external impetus, but because of the shape imposed by the boundaries we cannot perceive. This framework also introduces profound implications for the nature of gravity. Gravity inside an inside-out universe is no longer a mere force acting at a distance. It becomes the architect of reality itself. Mass curves space, yes, but the overall shape of the universe is influenced by the hidden geometry of the surrounding black hole. Every orbit, every trajectory, every path of light and matter is subtly determined by forces beyond immediate observation. Gravity is both local and global, shaping the microcosm of planets and stars while simultaneously guiding the macrocosm of galaxies and cosmic expansion. The universe is a living structure, molded by an invisible hand, yet appearing spontaneous and free to its inhabitants. The philosophical implications of this theory are equally profound. If our universe is inside out, then our perception of space, time, and causality is inherently limited. What we experience as freedom, as expansion, as the flow of time, may be illusions imposed by the geometry of a hidden parent universe. Our observable laws of physics, the constants of nature, and even the emergence of life may all be consequences of conditions set by the collapse of a distant star. We are simultaneously autonomous and constrained, conscious and shaped, free yet bounded. The paradox of existence, the simultaneous experience of openness and confinement, becomes a central theme in understanding reality itself. Yet, within this confinement there is room for wonder. The inside-out universe is not merely a prison. It is a cradle for life, consciousness, and complexity. The hidden geometry allows structures to form, patterns to emerge, and civilizations to develop. Time and space may behave in ways beyond ordinary comprehension, but they provide the scaffolding for stars, galaxies, and intelligent beings. Life arises not despite the structure of the black hole but because of it. Creation is inseparable from confinement, and the paradox itself becomes the source of possibility and beauty. From a cinematic perspective, the inside-out universe is breathtaking. Picture a galaxy spinning along a path that curves back on itself, nebulae folding light in impossible directions, and stars igniting in bursts dictated by the unseen horizon of the black hole that cradles them. The night sky is at once familiar and alien, comforting and disorienting. Every observation is colored by the geometry of the hidden shell, revealing patterns and coincidences that hint at the greater structure. The universe is alive with both mystery and logic, a cosmic dance choreographed by forces invisible yet omnipresent. As we peer into this possibility, we are confronted by the magnitude of the unknown. The inside-out universe challenges our intuition, our understanding of physics, and our conception of reality. Every moment, every event, every discovery may be a product of geometry we cannot perceive, of forces we cannot measure, of boundaries we cannot cross. Yet it is within these limitations that the universe finds balance, coherence, and life. The paradox is the source of order, and the inside-out nature of reality may be the reason existence itself is possible. To embrace the inside-out universe is to embrace the tension between freedom and confinement, between understanding and mystery, between creation and the unseen forces that shape it. It is to accept that the cosmos we inhabit is both ordinary and extraordinary, predictable yet incomprehensible, familiar yet alien. And as we consider the possibility that our reality exists within such a structure, we begin to glimpse the delicate, astonishing, and terrifying beauty of a universe born not in emptiness, but inside the heart of a cosmic black hole. Inside this black hole-born universe, space and time are no longer fixed, reliable backdrops for life and events. They are living, bending, stretching dimensions shaped by the invisible geometry of the parent black hole. To imagine it is to step into a realm where the ordinary rules of cause and effect begin to blur. A light beam that seems straight may curve back toward itself. A galaxy drifting in one direction may find its path subtly altered by forces its inhabitants cannot see. Time itself may flow unevenly, moving faster or slower depending on location. A river that bends and loops unpredictably, yet somehow maintains a coherent stream. The cosmos becomes a labyrinth of perception and reality, simultaneously orderly and disorienting, comprehensible and unfathomable. This subtle bending of spacetime is not merely theoretical. Observations of our universe hint at phenomena that seem to stretch beyond classical understanding. Cosmic acceleration, the uniformity of the microwave background radiation, and the distribution of galaxies all suggest an underlying structure beyond what is immediately observable. If the universe exists inside a black hole, these anomalies begin to make sense. They are not random quirks of chance, but fingerprints of the hidden interior geometry. Every fluctuation in energy, every orbit, every path of light is subtly guided by the shape and curvature of a higher dimensional space beyond our perception. The universe appears autonomous, but it is sculpted invisibly by the gravitational architecture in which it is enclosed. Visualize this with cinematic intensity. A vast field of galaxies stretches across the horizon, light twisting in arcs that defy expectation. Nebulae glow with iridescent colors, their wisps bending around invisible curves of space. Stars ignite and die in a rhythm dictated by a cosmic choreography that no being inside could ever directly detect. Every planet's orbit, every comet's path, every photon of light is influenced not only by local gravity but also by the hidden contours of the universe itself, shaped by the parent black hole's interior. The cosmos becomes both familiar and alien, a harmonious dance orchestrated by forces beyond our senses. One of the most striking aspects of such a universe is how it affects causality. Inside a black hole, the conventional sequence of events, cause preceding effect, can twist in subtle ways. While life experiences a coherent forward flow of time, the underlying geometry allows for regions where time stretches or compresses dramatically. Past, present, and future coexist in layers, overlapping like ripples on a pond. This may explain the large-scale uniformity of the cosmos and why distant regions appear so finely tuned to each other despite the impossibility of causal contact in classical models. The black hole interior ensures a hidden connectivity, a secret order that allows the universe to evolve as if by magic, yet rooted in the physical laws of higher dimensional gravity. This phenomenon also illuminates the mysterious concept of cosmic horizons. In a standard black hole, the event horizon represents a boundary beyond which nothing escapes. Inside our universe, the equivalent may be the edge of the observable cosmos, the point where light no longer reaches us. This horizon is not empty or meaningless. It is a gravitational limit, a subtle shaping force, and a record of the parent universe's collapse. Every photon that reaches us from the edge carries encoded information about the conditions of the black hole that birthed our cosmos. The horizon is simultaneously a limit and a window, a boundary and a messenger, linking our reality to the greater structure from which it emerged. The inside-out nature of the universe also provides a framework for understanding entropy, the arrow of time, and the emergence of complexity. In conventional thermodynamics, entropy increases as systems evolve toward disorder. Yet the universe inside a black hole begins with conditions dictated by gravitational collapse, producing initial states that are highly organized and uniform. This hidden order provides the stage for galaxies, stars, and eventually life to emerge. Chaos unfolds within a scaffold of pre-existing structure. Life, consciousness, and civilization arise not in spite of cosmic constraints but because the constraints create conditions conducive to stability, organization, and complexity. The universe is simultaneously free and bounded, chaotic yet ordered, predictable yet mysterious. Imagine civilizations arising on distant planets within this universe. Their perception of the cosmos would be similar to ours, a seemingly endless expanse of stars, galaxies, and cosmic phenomena. Yet every observation they make is subtly influenced by the hidden interior geometry. Their laws of physics would appear consistent and predictable, but behind the scenes, the parent black hole shapes every trajectory, every fluctuation, every phenomenon. They would perceive freedom while being subtly guided by confinement, unaware that their reality is bounded by a structure they cannot access or comprehend. The universe becomes a perfect blend of autonomy and subtle control, a harmonious paradox. From a philosophical standpoint, this reveals a profound truth. Existence is inseparable from the structure that shapes it. The constraints imposed by the parent black hole are not limitations but conditions for possibility. They allow galaxies to form, stars to ignite, and life to emerge. They create the rhythm of the cosmos, the patterns of matter, the flow of time. And within this structure, consciousness arises, capable of observing, reflecting, and questioning its own origins. The universe becomes both the stage and the audience, both creator and creation, simultaneously confined and free, governed yet evolving. Every event is part of a larger narrative scripted by unseen geometry, a story of wonder, tension, and subtle design. The contrast inherent in this scenario is remarkable. From within, the universe seems vast, free, and infinite. Light travels in straight paths, stars drift in predictable orbits, and time flows naturally. To inhabitants inside, the cosmos appears ordinary, comprehensible, even familiar. Yet beneath this apparent normalcy lies a hidden architecture that shapes every interaction, every trajectory, every fundamental constant. The universe is at once comforting and alien, free and bounded, a paradox that mirrors the duality of existence itself. It is a reminder that reality is not always what it seems, that appearances can mask the hidden rules shaping every moment. Cinematic visualization of this inside-out universe is mesmerizing. Galaxies spin in arcs dictated by invisible curvature, nebulae shimmer along warped trajectories, stars ignite and collapse in sequences choreographed by unseen gravity, and light bends in breathtaking loops. The cosmic horizon glows faintly, marking the invisible boundary of perception, and beyond it lies a parent universe whose structure continues to influence every corner of our reality. Time flows differently in different regions, creating subtle rhythms that guide the evolution of matter, energy, and life. The universe is simultaneously familiar and alien, harmonious yet disorienting, a perfect blend of beauty and mystery. Ultimately, the inside-out universe forces us to reconsider our place in the cosmos. We are not simply floating in an infinite void, we are living inside a complex, hidden architecture born from the collapse of a higher-dimensional star. Every galaxy, every planet, every photon, every living being is influenced by this geometry. The universe is free in appearance but constrained in essence, expansive yet bounded, autonomous yet subtly guided. Understanding this paradox is not merely an intellectual exercise, it is a journey into the heart of reality itself, revealing the delicate, astonishing, and terrifying beauty of existence within a cosmic black hole. In a universe shaped by the interior of a black hole, light itself becomes a storyteller. Every photon, every ray of electromagnetic energy, follows paths dictated not only by local gravity but by the hidden curvature of the surrounding structure. Light bends, twists, and loops in ways that defy intuition. A distant star may appear closer or farther, brighter or dimmer, depending on how the invisible geometry guides its emission. Shadows fall in strange directions and reflections emerge where none should exist. To observers inside, the cosmos appears orderly, even serene, yet the subtle distortions of light hint at a deeper, hidden architecture. Light becomes both messenger and prisoner, carrying information about the universe while simultaneously revealing the boundaries that cannot be crossed. Imagine a beam of light escaping from a newly formed star. As it travels, space itself bends it, stretching its path, curving it back toward unseen regions. Photons that should travel linearly now follow arcs that seem impossible. Galaxies shift ever so slightly in position, nebulae appear distorted, and cosmic filaments trace invisible curves. The interior universe is alive with these subtle warps, evidence of the parent black hole's shaping influence. Light is a map, tracing the contours of hidden structure, and through it, one can glimpse the presence of a cosmic boundary that the naked eye cannot perceive. This behavior has profound implications for observation and knowledge. When astronomers measure the distance to faraway galaxies, they assume space is Euclidean, predictable, and linear. But in a universe governed by the inside-out geometry of a black hole, those assumptions break down subtly yet significantly. Distances may be underestimated or overestimated, patterns misinterpreted, and velocities miscalculated. The universe may appear uniform, accelerating, and expanding, yet these effects are deeply intertwined with the underlying curvature. Every measurement is not just a reflection of matter and energy, it is a reflection of hidden boundaries, of a structure that influences everything inside, from the smallest photon to the largest cluster of galaxies. Light also becomes a vehicle for paradox. While it transmits information about events, it is simultaneously trapped by the very structure it reveals. Photons that originate near the cosmic horizon may take billions of years to reach an observer, their journey stretched and distorted by the invisible contours of spacetime. In a sense, every observation is a glimpse into a distorted past, a record of a universe shaped by unseen forces. The light carries both truth and illusion, revealing reality while concealing the full picture. Observers see the universe as vast and open, yet it is ultimately bounded by a geometry they cannot traverse. Every star, every galaxy, every flash of light is a hint, a clue, a fragment of a hidden narrative. From a cinematic perspective, this is breathtaking. Picture a nebula glowing across the sky, its colors bending along invisible curves, stars tracing loops in orbits that appear almost deliberate, galaxies stretching in arcs that seem both natural and impossible. The light we see is a performance, choreographed by the hidden hand of the parent black hole. Shadows and reflections, brightness and dimming, motion and stillness, all are guided by a structure that cannot be observed directly. The universe itself becomes a visual symphony, each photon a note, each galaxy a movement, all orchestrated by forces beyond perception. These light distortions also have philosophical resonance. They remind us that reality is rarely what it appears to be. The cosmos feels open, infinite, and boundless, yet it may be tightly confined. The flow of time, the paths of stars, the expansion of space, all are shaped by hidden geometry. Observers inside the universe live in a kind of visual and perceptual illusion, experiencing freedom while unknowingly moving within constraints. Light is both a guide and a veil, illuminating the cosmos while simultaneously revealing that our perception is incomplete. The universe is a paradox of observation, seen yet partially concealed, free yet subtly confined. Moreover, this behavior of light ties directly into the idea of information preservation. Inside a black hole, information cannot simply disappear. It is encoded on the horizon, smeared across a surface that cannot be penetrated from within. Photons traveling through the interior carry imprints of that encoded information. Every ray of light may encode subtle hints of the parent universe, of the collapse that gave rise to the interior cosmos. Even as they illuminate stars and galaxies, they whisper secrets of structure and origin, a cosmic record written in the paths of light itself. Observers inside have access to part of the story, yet the full narrative remains elusive, hidden just beyond the horizon of perception. The duality of light, simultaneously revealing and concealing, traveling freely yet constrained, is a powerful metaphor for our understanding of existence. The universe appears vast, familiar, and comprehensible, yet every ray hints at a deeper, invisible architecture. Observers perceive freedom, yet reality is subtly governed by hidden boundaries. Knowledge is attainable, yet incomplete, limited by the geometry in which it resides. Light becomes both a guide and a reminder of limitation, a messenger from a universe within a universe, revealing what is possible while silently marking the edges of what can never be known. In this context, every observation becomes an act of exploration and humility. Looking at the stars, we witness beauty, order, and vastness, yet we must acknowledge the hidden forces that shape that reality. Every measurement, every photograph, every telescope captures a universe already shaped by unseen boundaries. The cosmos becomes a living interplay of light, space, and hidden geometry, a stage on which creation unfolds within constraints we may never escape. The very act of seeing is participation in a story written by forces invisible yet omnipresent, a narrative of wonder, confinement, and cosmic artistry. Ultimately, the bending, twisting, and looping of light within the universe is a reminder that reality is richer and stranger than perception alone can reveal. It challenges our assumptions, invites curiosity, and humbles our understanding. The universe, bathed in light, appears free, infinite, and open. Yet beneath the surface, it is bounded, shaped, and guided by a structure beyond reach. Every photon is a clue, every beam a fragment of truth, and every shadow a testament to the hidden architecture of existence. To observe the universe is to engage with its paradox, to see freedom and confinement, light and boundary, openness and hidden structure, all intertwined in the cosmic dance. The concept of a universe residing within a black hole challenges everything we thought we understood about existence, creation, and the cosmos itself. It is an idea that exists at the intersection of physics, philosophy, and imagination, demanding that we reconsider our understanding of reality. To live in a universe born from the collapse of a star in a higher dimensional space is to inhabit a realm where time, space, matter, and energy are simultaneously familiar and profoundly alien. Every aspect of reality, the motion of galaxies, the flow of time, the evolution of life, is shaped by unseen forces, the residual influence of a cosmic parent. This scenario is not merely theoretical. It offers a coherent framework that explains some of the deepest mysteries of modern cosmology, from the uniformity of the cosmic microwave background to the accelerating expansion of space. To explore it fully is to embark on a journey that stretches across dimensions, decades, and the limits of human comprehension. Imagine the moment of creation, when the core of a massive star collapses under the weight of its own gravity. To an external observer in the parent universe, this is a moment of destruction. A singularity forms, swallowing light and matter, leaving behind only an event horizon that marks the boundary of the unknown. Yet inside this collapse, something extraordinary occurs. Space and time begin to unfold. A new universe is born, expanding from the singularity outward. Galaxies ignite, stars form, and planets coalesce, all under conditions dictated by the extreme physics of the parent black hole. To inhabitants of this newborn universe, creation appears sudden yet complete. The laws of physics operate as though independent, as though the cosmos has always existed, yet everything is the product of collapse, a continuation of a prior reality. The interior universe behaves according to principles that are both familiar and alien. Gravity still governs motion, electromagnetism still enables light to travel, and nuclear forces still hold atoms together. Yet the geometry of space is fundamentally different. Curvature imposed by the parent black hole alters trajectories of matter and light, creating patterns that appear inexplicable under standard cosmological models. Galaxies drift along curved paths, nebulae twist in forms that defy ordinary physics, and light bends in ways that suggest a hidden hand shaping every aspect of reality. From within, these phenomena seem natural, as if the universe obeys familiar rules. From a higher dimensional perspective, however, they are the inevitable consequences of existing inside a gravitational womb. Time behaves in this universe with a fluidity that defies conventional experience. Near the singularity, time can stretch, dilate, or even loop back upon itself. This means that the past, present, and future are not uniform. They exist in layered dimensions, interacting in ways that may seem paradoxical to observers accustomed to linear causality. For civilizations evolving in this universe, the perception of time remains coherent. Days, years, and centuries pass normally, but the underlying physics allows for extraordinary temporal phenomena. Light from distant galaxies may carry information that seems older than expected, and causality at cosmic scales may appear subtly distorted. The unfolding of history, the evolution of life, the development of civilizations, all occur within a temporal framework influenced by the hidden geometry of the parent black hole. The arrow of time, which seems straightforward from within, is itself a product of deeper, unseen forces. Observationally, the universe contains signs of this unusual heritage. The cosmic microwave background radiation is remarkably uniform, far more than classical inflation models predict. Regions of the universe separated by billions of light-years exhibit nearly identical temperatures, a coherence that seems impossible under conventional physics. Inside a black hole, however, such uniformity is a natural consequence of the event horizon's influence. The collapse that birthed the universe smooths out irregularities, enforcing a subtle order that extends across cosmic scales. What appears as improbable coincidence is, in reality, a reflection of the gravitational architecture that defines the interior cosmos. Every photon, every fluctuation, every ripple of energy carries the imprint of the parent black hole, creating a hidden coherence that ensures stability and uniformity. Expansion is another extraordinary feature of this universe. Observers see galaxies drifting apart at accelerating speeds, as though space itself is being pushed outward by a mysterious force called dark energy. Yet inside the black hole, this expansion is a direct consequence of geometry. The curvature of space, influenced by the singularity and the event horizon, creates a natural acceleration, stretching distances between galaxies without invoking exotic forces. Space expands not arbitrarily but in precise patterns determined by the hidden boundary. Dark energy, from this perspective, is not a separate entity. It is a manifestation of the intrinsic shape and dynamics of the inside-out universe. The apparent acceleration is thus both a visual phenomenon and a subtle echo of the parent black hole structure. Gravity operates in equally fascinating ways. Local gravity governs the motion of stars and planets, creating the familiar orbits and structures we observe. Global gravity, however, is subtly influenced by the overall curvature imposed by the black hole. Large-scale structures, the alignment of galaxies, the formation of clusters, the distribution of matter, are all guided by forces originating from the parent event horizon. Gravity becomes both a local actor and a cosmic architect, shaping not just orbits and trajectories but the evolution of the entire universe. In this sense, the universe is both free and constrained, a delicate balance between autonomy and influence, a space where patterns emerge naturally within hidden limits. Light itself becomes a cosmic messenger. Photons travel along curved paths dictated by the interior geometry, carrying information about stars, galaxies, and cosmic events while simultaneously encoding the structure of the universe itself. Observers perceive light as straightforward, as revealing objects and distances, but every photon is subtly influenced by the curvature of space. Shadows, reflections, distortions, and bending reveal the hidden architecture. The universe is thus both seen and unseen, illuminated and veiled. Light is at once evidence and illusion, revealing the cosmos while hinting at forces that remain beyond direct perception. It is the thread that links visible phenomena with the invisible skeleton of reality. Life emerges within this universe as a product of both constraints and freedom. The geometry imposed by the parent black hole ensures stability, uniformity, and the right conditions for matter to coalesce into stars, planets, and ultimately organic systems. At the same time, the interior allows complexity, variation, and unpredictability, giving rise to evolutionary processes, consciousness, and civilizations. Existence becomes a dance between order and chaos, a balance between confinement and possibility. The universe is simultaneously nurturing and restrictive, providing the framework within which life can flourish while subtly defining the limits of what is possible. Civilizations evolving in this universe would perceive a cosmos of immense scale and beauty. Stars, galaxies, and nebulae would appear vast, free, and infinite. Yet underlying this perception is a hidden structure, shaping every trajectory, every path of light, and every aspect of matter. Scientific discovery, observation, and understanding are all acts of exploring a reality defined by invisible boundaries. Every insight into physics, cosmology, or the nature of existence reveals only a part of a much larger, hidden narrative. The universe is thus simultaneously knowable and unknowable, comprehensible and mysterious, familiar yet alien. The philosophical and existential implications are staggering. If our universe resides inside a black hole, then our origins are not singular or isolated. We are part of a continuum, a chain of universes born from the collapse of parent stars, each universe potentially giving rise to the next. Creation is inseparable from destruction, birth from death, and freedom from confinement. The universe is not an accident but a consequence, a living testament to the recursive, fractal nature of existence. We are inhabitants of a nested cosmos, where each scale of reality reflects the influence of a higher dimensional parent, and where every moment carries echoes of forces that shaped it long before we existed. In contemplating the possibility that our universe exists within the interior of a black hole, we are forced to confront the very nature of reality, perception, and cosmic structure. The idea is both terrifying and exhilarating, a cosmos vast beyond imagination, yet secretly bounded, shaped, and governed by forces we cannot directly perceive. Every star, galaxy, and photon within our universe may be subtly guided by the curvature imposed by the black hole that birthed us. Spacetime itself is a product of this geometry, expanding outward in apparent freedom while being constrained by the invisible architecture of a higher dimensional parent universe. The duality of autonomy and confinement permeates all aspects of existence, creating a universe that is simultaneously familiar and profoundly alien. Visualize the scene. A colossal black hole floats silently in the higher dimensional void, its event horizon shimmering like a luminous, invisible membrane. Matter collapses into its core, forming a singularity that represents both the end and the beginning. Inside this collapse, a new universe unfolds. Galaxies swirl, stars ignite, planets coalesce, and life emerges, all within a geometric framework dictated by the parent black hole. Light curves along unseen paths, gravity directs motion both locally and globally, and time flows unevenly, layered, and flexible. To inhabitants of this interior universe, the cosmos appears infinite, harmonious, and coherent. To an observer in the parent universe, however, it is a singularity consuming light and matter, the birth of a cosmos hidden within destruction. The behavior of spacetime within this interior universe is unlike anything we experience in classical reality. Curvature is everywhere, subtly shaping the trajectories of stars, galaxies, and photons. Distances stretch and compress in ways that challenge intuition. A beam of light emitted from a distant star may follow a path that curves back upon itself, illuminating regions that would otherwise remain dark. Or it may bend around massive clusters of matter, creating arcs and distortions that reveal the hidden geometry of the universe itself. Even seemingly empty space is alive with curvature, energy, and potential, forming the canvas upon which cosmic creation unfolds. This is a universe sculpted by geometry, where every detail, from the smallest particle to the largest cluster of galaxies, is influenced by the residual effects of a collapsed parent star. Time in this universe behaves with a profound and often counterintuitive fluidity. Near the singularity, time can dilate infinitely, while in other regions it may compress, creating layers of temporal experience that coexist simultaneously. For inhabitants, the perception of time remains orderly, days, seasons, and years pass normally, but the underlying physics allows for extraordinary temporal phenomena. Light from distant galaxies may carry information from eras that seem impossibly ancient, and cause and effect relationships at cosmological scales may appear subtly altered. The arrow of time, which seems linear to life within the universe, is in fact a complex interplay of local and global geometry, ensuring coherence while reflecting the influence of the higher dimensional parent. The interior universe is thus a dynamic temporal landscape, where the past, present, and future are intertwined, and history is written not only in matter and energy but in the very curvature of spacetime itself. The uniformity of the cosmic microwave background radiation, one of the great puzzles of modern cosmology, finds an elegant explanation within this framework. Classical inflation models require extraordinary fine-tuning to account for the near-identical temperatures observed across vast distances of space. Inside a black hole, however, the event horizon imposes a natural smoothing effect. The gravitational collapse that birthed the interior universe enforces order, distributing energy evenly and minimizing irregularities. The resulting uniformity is not coincidental. It is a direct consequence of the universe's origin. Every fluctuation, every wave, every ripple of radiation carries the imprint of the parent black hole's geometry, a subtle blueprint shaping the cosmos from the very beginning. Expansion in this universe is another extraordinary feature. Observers witness galaxies drifting apart at accelerating rates, suggesting the presence of dark energy. Yet in a universe contained within a black hole, this acceleration is a natural consequence of the underlying geometry. Space is curved and stretched by the residual gravitational effects of the singularity and event horizon. The distances between galaxies increase not because of an unknown force but because the shape of space itself compels expansion. The apparent uniform acceleration, the intricate dance of matter and energy across billions of light-years, is the visible manifestation of the invisible architecture that defines every aspect of the interior cosmos. Dark energy in this context is not a mysterious addition but a natural property of space born from collapse. Gravity, too, operates on multiple scales, revealing the elegant interplay between local and global forces. At the local level, stars orbit galaxies, planets revolve around suns, and tidal forces sculpt celestial landscapes. Globally, the universe itself is guided by the hidden curvature of the parent black hole, which shapes the formation of galaxy clusters, the alignment of filaments, and the distribution of matter across cosmic scales. Every movement of matter is simultaneously the result of proximate interactions and the influence of a greater, unseen architecture. Gravity becomes both a sculptor of detail and a director of cosmic evolution, blending local dynamics with overarching structure to produce a universe that appears self-contained yet is inherently connected to forces beyond its boundaries. Light, as a carrier of information, plays a central role in this cosmological narrative. Every photon emitted from stars and galaxies carries the signature of the curvature it has traversed. Light bends, twists, and loops along paths dictated by the hidden geometry of the universe, revealing patterns and structures that are both familiar and alien. Observers perceive coherent images of stars, nebulae, and galaxies, yet every beam is subtly influenced by the parent black hole's curvature, encoding traces of the origin and boundaries of the cosmos. Shadows and reflections, distortions and arcs, all serve as reminders that perception is never complete. The universe appears infinite, yet it is intricately confined, with every ray of light tracing the contours of unseen architecture. The emergence of life within this universe is both remarkable and inevitable, given the conditions imposed by the hidden geometry. The collapse that birthed the interior universe produces a delicate balance of energy, matter, and stability, allowing for the formation of stars, planets, and ultimately organic chemistry. Evolution unfolds within these parameters, guided by the stability and structure provided by the black hole's influence. Life, consciousness, and civilization emerge not in spite of the cosmic architecture but because of it. The paradox is profound. Existence arises within confinement, freedom manifests within boundaries, and complexity develops within a framework established by forces beyond comprehension. The universe is at once nurturing and restrictive, allowing the play of life and consciousness to unfold within the constraints of geometry. Civilizations observing the cosmos would perceive the universe as vast, free, and harmonious. Galaxies drift, stars shine, and nebulae glow with radiant beauty. Yet underlying this apparent autonomy is a subtle orchestration by hidden forces. The laws of physics, the constants of nature, and the evolution of matter are all reflections of the parent black hole's geometry. Scientific inquiry, philosophical contemplation, and technological achievement occur within a reality whose deeper structure remains inaccessible. Every discovery reveals both a fragment of truth and a hint of limitation, a window into a universe shaped by forces simultaneously invisible and omnipresent. Philosophically, the implications are staggering. If the universe is contained within a black hole, then our existence is part of a larger cosmic continuum. Creation is inseparable from destruction. Birth emerges from collapse, and every universe may give rise to the next in a recursive sequence. The cosmos becomes a nested system of universes, each with its own geometry and internal logic, each shaped by the collapse of a prior reality. Our universe is extraordinary, yet it is also ordinary, a single iteration in an endless chain of creation and collapse, a fractal of existence stretching across dimensions beyond perception. The insight of a black hole universe compels us to redefine notions of freedom, causality, and origin. Existence is not unbounded, yet it appears so. Time is layered, yet it feels linear. Light travels in straight paths, yet it curves along unseen trajectories. Life arises, consciousness develops, and civilizations flourish, all within an architecture invisible to direct observation. The paradox of autonomy within confinement becomes the defining feature of existence, shaping the evolution of matter, energy, and intelligence. To understand the universe is to confront this paradox, to recognize that freedom and limitation are inseparably intertwined at every scale. Cinematic imagery brings this concept to life. A galaxy spirals along an arc shaped by unseen curvature, nebulae glow and twist in impossible directions, stars ignite and collapse in patterns choreographed by hidden geometry, and photons trace paths that reveal both the known and the unknown. Observers on distant planets watch the night sky with awe, perceiving a cosmos that appears infinite, harmonious, and comprehensible. Yet beneath this apparent reality lies the influence of forces beyond perception, guiding every movement, shaping every interaction, and defining the possibilities of existence itself. The universe is both a stage and a character, simultaneously constrained and free, familiar and alien, illuminated and mysterious. Ultimately, understanding that our universe may exist within a black hole transforms our perception of reality, creation, and our place within the cosmos. We are inhabitants of a nested, structured, and dynamic system, where every event, every observation, and every life form is influenced by geometry we cannot see. The paradox of freedom within confinement, order within chaos, and life emerging from destruction defines the interior universe. It is a cosmos of staggering beauty, profound complexity, and unfathomable mystery. To live, observe, and contemplate within such a universe is to participate in a narrative that transcends conventional understanding, bridging the realms of science, philosophy, and imagination, and revealing the breathtaking majesty of existence inside a cosmic black hole. The interior universe of a black hole, if such a reality exists, is a place where the familiar rules of existence become fluid, where space, time, and matter are simultaneously ordered and chaotic, predictable and mysterious. It is a realm of paradoxes, a cosmos that is both infinite in appearance and finite in essence, vast and expansive yet secretly bounded by the invisible curvature of a higher dimensional parent black hole. Within this framework, the very foundations of reality are shaped by forces that cannot be directly observed, creating a universe where every trajectory of matter, every photon of light, every passage of time, is subtly influenced by the hidden geometry that envelopes it. To live, observe, and reason in such a universe is to confront an extraordinary tension between freedom and constraint, autonomy and design, chaos and order. The first aspect to consider is the intricate behavior of space within this universe. Unlike a traditional cosmological model where space is linear and Euclidean, inside a black hole, the curvature of space itself becomes a dominant factor. Regions of space can stretch, fold, or loop back on themselves, creating phenomena that are both visually stunning and conceptually bewildering. Galaxies do not simply drift apart along straight lines. Their motion is guided by the subtle curvature imposed by the parent singularity. Light bends along arcs that defy ordinary expectations, tracing paths that reveal both the structure of matter and the hidden boundaries of the cosmos. This is a universe where spatial relationships are dynamic, fluid, and intimately connected to forces beyond direct perception, creating a complex, multidimensional framework that challenges even the most advanced models of physics. Time in this universe exhibits behavior that is equally extraordinary. Near the singularity, time can dilate infinitely, creating regions where moments stretch to incomprehensible lengths. In other zones, it may compress, causing events to appear to unfold almost instantaneously. For observers, however, the passage of time remains coherent, allowing life, civilizations, and consciousness to develop in a recognizable sequence. Yet the underlying reality is far more intricate. Cause and effect may twist, layers of past, present, and future may overlap, and events in one region can be subtly connected to outcomes in another in ways that defy linear understanding. Time becomes a medium not merely of measurement but of structure, an invisible framework within which the unfolding narrative of the universe is written. The universe's expansion is another phenomenon shaped by its origin within a black hole. Observers note galaxies moving apart at accelerating speeds, a phenomenon traditionally attributed to dark energy. In the context of an inside black hole universe, this acceleration arises naturally from the curvature of space itself. The geometry imposed by the singularity and event horizon stretches distances, creating the appearance of rapid expansion. The universe grows not due to mysterious forces but as an inevitable consequence of its origin. Every galaxy, star, and cosmic filament moves along paths dictated by the invisible hand of geometry, resulting in a cosmos that seems self-organized, self-contained, yet remains fundamentally connected to the hidden structure of the parent black hole. The acceleration of expansion is not arbitrary, it is a natural echo of the initial conditions of collapse. Gravity operates in complex, layered ways within this universe. Locally, it governs the orbits of stars, the motion of planets, and the formation of galaxies, creating structures that appear coherent and predictable. Globally, however, gravity is influenced by the overall curvature imposed by the parent black hole, affecting the alignment of galaxy clusters, the distribution of cosmic matter, and the flow of energy across enormous distances. Every motion, from the drift of a distant asteroid to the trajectory of a light beam across billions of light-years, is subtly guided by this dual influence. Gravity is thus both a local actor shaping immediate interactions and a global architect orchestrating the evolution of the universe as a whole. Light, as both an informer and a messenger, behaves in extraordinary ways within this universe. Photons trace curved paths influenced by hidden geometry, illuminating stars, nebulae, and galaxies while simultaneously encoding the structure of space itself. Shadows fall at unexpected angles, reflections emerge where they seemingly cannot, and light bends, twists, and loops in ways that hint at boundaries beyond perception. Every observation is filtered through these distortions, creating a universe that is simultaneously knowable and mysterious. Light becomes a medium through which the hidden architecture communicates with the inhabitants of the interior universe, carrying fragments of information about the singularity that birthed existence and the event horizon that shapes it. This complex interplay of space, time, gravity, and light has profound implications for the emergence of life and intelligence. The stability provided by the hidden geometry allows stars to ignite, planets to coalesce, and chemical reactions to occur in patterns conducive to life. At the same time, the dynamic, flexible nature of space and time fosters complexity, unpredictability, and variation. Evolution unfolds within these constraints, producing organisms capable of adaptation, intelligence, and consciousness. Life is a natural consequence of the universe's architecture, arising not in spite of the constraints imposed by the black hole but because of them. Creation and limitation, freedom and guidance, order and chaos converge to produce the conditions necessary for existence to flourish. Civilizations developing in this universe would experience a cosmos of breathtaking beauty. The night sky would be filled with galaxies spiraling along arcs, nebulae glowing and twisting in ways that defy imagination, and stars igniting and dying in patterns shaped by unseen forces. Observers would perceive freedom, vastness, and coherence in their universe, yet every aspect of reality would be subtly shaped by the hidden influence of the parent black hole. Scientific discovery, philosophical inquiry, and technological advancement would all occur within a reality whose deeper structure remains inaccessible. Knowledge would be a journey of exploration and wonder, revealing fragments of truth while hinting at boundaries that can never be crossed. The philosophical implications are profound. If our universe exists inside a black hole, then creation is inseparable from destruction. Collapse becomes genesis, death gives rise to life, and every universe may be part of a nested, recursive sequence. The cosmos is a continuum, a fractal chain in which each universe is both a product of and a participant in an eternal cycle of collapse and rebirth. We are inhabitants of a reality whose origins lie in a process that transcends conventional notions of beginning and end. Our perception of autonomy, time, and space is shaped by forces that existed long before conscious beings emerged, and every act of observation or inquiry connects us to the underlying architecture of the universe. Existence itself becomes a paradox, a delicate balance between freedom and constraint. Space appears infinite yet is bounded, time flows naturally yet is layered and flexible, life emerges spontaneously yet is conditioned by hidden geometry. Every star, galaxy, and civilization is a testament to this tension, a reflection of the unseen forces shaping every level of existence. The paradox is not a flaw, it is the defining feature of life inside a black hole, the mechanism through which complexity, consciousness, and beauty emerge. The universe is a masterpiece of subtle orchestration, where apparent randomness is guided by unseen structure, and freedom coexists with confinement in every scale of reality. The inside black hole universe challenges human intuition and perception. From a cognitive standpoint, it forces us to reconsider what is possible, redefining notions of cause, effect, and independence. Observers may perceive linear motion, consistent physical laws, and predictable phenomena, yet these observations are conditioned by hidden boundaries and curvatures. Scientific measurement, philosophical reflection, and artistic expression are all influenced by the subtle shaping effects of the parent black hole. The universe appears autonomous, self-contained, and coherent, yet every aspect of its reality bears the imprint of forces beyond perception. Awareness of this duality, freedom and constraint, seen and unseen, transforms our understanding of existence, revealing a cosmos that is far richer and stranger than classical models can convey. Cinematic visualization brings this reality to life. Galaxies trace elegant arcs dictated by invisible geometry, nebulae glow with impossible patterns, and stars ignite and collapse in choreographed sequences. Light bends in extraordinary ways, revealing cosmic structures and hidden paths simultaneously. Shadows and reflections create illusions that hint at unseen boundaries, and the night sky becomes a tapestry woven from both visible and invisible forces. Observers experience wonder, awe, and the subtle unease of knowing that reality is simultaneously comprehensible and beyond full comprehension. Every detail of existence, from the smallest particle to the largest cosmic structure, is a testament to the hidden order, the paradoxical freedom, and the breathtaking beauty of a universe contained within a black hole. Ultimately, understanding this interior universe transforms the human perspective. We are not merely passive observers of a vast, unbounded cosmos. We are participants in a reality shaped by forces beyond perception, existence intertwined with hidden geometry, life emerging within a framework of constraint and possibility. The paradox of freedom within confinement defines the universe, guiding evolution, shaping civilizations, and producing the conditions for consciousness to arise. Science, philosophy, and imagination converge in this vision, revealing a cosmos of staggering complexity, beauty, and mystery. To contemplate existence inside a black hole is to embrace a universe simultaneously infinite and bounded, familiar and alien, free and guided, illuminated and veiled, a reality where every moment, every action, and every observation is part of a narrative written by the invisible architecture of a cosmic singularity. The universe within a black hole is a realm of astonishing contradictions, a cosmos that is both free and bounded, orderly and chaotic, vast and confined. To inhabit such a universe is to exist in a paradoxical balance between autonomy and constraint, a reality in which every element of matter, energy, and life is shaped by forces that are invisible yet omnipresent. Space curves along hidden dimensions, time flows unevenly across regions, and light bends along paths dictated by unseen geometry. Stars ignite, planets coalesce, and galaxies drift in a cosmic choreography orchestrated by the residual influence of a singularity and its event horizon. From the perspective of an observer within this universe, the cosmos appears infinite, coherent, and familiar. Yet beneath the surface lies a profound hidden structure, an architecture that shapes every trajectory, every interaction, every form of existence. The behavior of matter in this universe is a reflection of the underlying geometry. Planets orbit their stars, stars orbit the centers of galaxies, and galaxies move along paths determined not only by local gravity but by the global curvature imposed by the parent black hole. Even phenomena such as the formation of black holes, neutron stars, and supernovae are subtly influenced by these hidden constraints. Collapsing stars do not simply follow predictable paths. Their evolution is shaped by the curvature of spacetime, creating patterns of motion and interaction that are harmonious yet unpredictable. From the birth of a star to the formation of a planetary system, the dynamics of matter are simultaneously natural and extraordinary, a blend of familiar physics and hidden architecture. Time, as experienced within this universe, is both linear and layered. Inhabitants perceive days, seasons, and years as consistent units, allowing for life, civilization, and history to unfold. Yet the deeper temporal structure is far more complex. Near singularities, time can stretch or dilate to incomprehensible scales, while in other regions it may compress, creating layers where past, present, and future coexist in subtle interplay. This multidimensional flow of time allows for phenomena that appear paradoxical, where cause and effect may intertwine in unexpected ways and events separated by vast distances are subtly correlated. The universe's history, evolution, and the unfolding of life are thus embedded in a temporal tapestry woven from both local experience and global geometry, a continuity that is coherent yet profoundly intricate. The expansion of the universe also reflects the influence of the hidden geometry. Galaxies appear to move apart with accelerating speed, a phenomenon traditionally attributed to dark energy. Yet in a black hole-contained universe, the acceleration is a natural consequence of the structure itself. Space is stretched by the curvature imposed by the singularity and event horizon, creating the illusion of an outward push without invoking additional forces. Every distance measured, every cosmological observation made, is filtered through this curvature, revealing patterns of expansion that are simultaneously predictable and mysterious. The growth of the cosmos is a direct consequence of its hidden architecture, an unfolding narrative in which geometry dictates the rhythm of creation. Gravity operates in complex, layered ways, shaping both local and global phenomena. At the local scale, it governs stellar orbits, planetary systems, and the dynamics of matter within galaxies. At the global scale, it orchestrates the alignment of galaxy clusters, the distribution of cosmic filaments, and the motion of matter across vast distances. Every celestial interaction is therefore both a product of local forces and a reflection of the larger curvature of space imposed by the parent black hole. Gravity becomes both sculptor and director, guiding the evolution of the universe while enabling the spontaneous emergence of structure and complexity. Light in this universe carries both information and illusion. Photons traverse curved paths, bending, looping, and twisting along trajectories dictated by the hidden geometry. Stars, nebulae, and galaxies emit light that appears familiar and coherent to observers, yet every photon encodes subtle information about the universe's shape, boundaries, and origins. Shadows fall in unexpected directions, reflections emerge where none are expected, and cosmic structures appear in configurations that hint at forces beyond perception. Light acts as both a messenger and a veil, revealing the cosmos while concealing its full architecture, allowing observers to perceive vast freedom while existing within invisible constraints. The emergence of life within such a universe is a natural consequence of its structural constraints. The geometry imposed by the parent black hole ensures stability, uniformity, and conditions conducive to the formation of stars, planets, and organic chemistry. Evolution unfolds within these parameters, giving rise to organisms capable of adaptation, intelligence, and consciousness. Life emerges not in spite of constraints but because of them, a product of the interplay between freedom and limitation. Civilizations develop within an environment that appears open and autonomous, yet is subtly guided by forces beyond perception, allowing complexity, creativity, and consciousness to flourish. Civilizations observing this universe would encounter a cosmos of breathtaking beauty and paradoxical design. Galaxies spin in arcs shaped by hidden curvature, nebulae glow and twist in ways that defy ordinary physics, and stars ignite and collapse in patterns choreographed by forces beyond direct observation. Light, shadow, and reflection reveal both coherence and illusion, creating a night sky that evokes awe, wonder, and subtle unease. Observers perceive a universe that is vast, free, and harmonious, yet every phenomenon is influenced by geometry they cannot access. Scientific exploration, philosophical reflection, and artistic expression all occur within a framework that is both liberating and constraining, providing structure without eliminating creativity. The philosophical implications of a universe within a black hole are profound. Creation and destruction are inseparable, collapse gives rise to life, and every universe may be a node in a nested, recursive chain of cosmic evolution. Our existence is not isolated. It is part of an ongoing continuum, a fractal sequence of birth, death, and renewal spanning dimensions beyond perception. The universe is a manifestation of forces that transcend individual understanding, yet those forces create the conditions for consciousness, reflection, and discovery. Life is embedded within a narrative written in geometry, a story of order, chaos, freedom, and constraint, where each moment is part of a larger, incomprehensible pattern. Existence itself is a paradoxical balance. Space appears infinite yet is bounded, time flows predictably yet is layered, light travels freely yet follows constrained paths, life emerges spontaneously yet is conditioned by hidden structure. Every phenomenon, from the smallest particle to the largest galaxy, is influenced by the duality of freedom and constraint, autonomy and design. This paradox is not a limitation but the engine of complexity, the mechanism through which stars, planets, and consciousness arise. The universe becomes a living interplay of forces, a dynamic system where apparent randomness is guided by hidden architecture, and creativity emerges within structure. The cognitive implications are equally profound. Observers perceive a coherent, intelligible universe, yet every measurement, observation, and insight is conditioned by forces beyond direct experience. Classical notions of causality, independence, and linearity are subtly modified by the hidden curvature. Science, philosophy, and even art operate within a reality that is at once knowable and mysterious, providing both clarity and uncertainty. To comprehend existence within such a universe is to engage with a complex, layered reality, where freedom and limitation coexist at every scale, and every discovery reveals both insight and boundary. Cinematic imagery brings this universe to life in vivid, unforgettable ways. Galaxies arc along invisible curves, nebulae glow with twisting patterns of iridescent color, and stars ignite and collapse in choreographed sequences dictated by hidden geometry. Light bends and refracts, casting shadows that hint at unseen structures. Observers gaze at the night sky with wonder, perceiving vastness and harmony, yet unconsciously influenced by the hidden architecture of spacetime. The cosmos is both familiar and alien, simultaneously coherent and surreal, a theater of beauty, mystery, and subtle orchestration. Every photon, every celestial body, every moment of time becomes a note in a symphony conducted by forces beyond perception. Ultimately, understanding this interior universe transforms our conception of reality. We are not merely inhabitants of an open, infinite cosmos. We are participants in a structured, layered, and dynamic system shaped by forces beyond direct observation. Freedom and constraint, order and chaos, creation and collapse coexist in every aspect of existence. Life emerges within this paradox, consciousness arises within limits, and civilizations develop within an architecture that is both enabling and constraining. To contemplate the universe inside a black hole is to confront the ultimate synthesis of science, philosophy, and imagination, to appreciate the delicate balance between visible reality and hidden structure, and to recognize the breathtaking complexity and beauty of a cosmos shaped by geometry, paradox, and possibility. Inside a universe born from a black hole, the rules of causality take on a profound new dimension. Events do not simply follow linear sequences. Instead, time becomes a flexible and layered fabric, capable of bending, stretching, and intertwining. Near regions of extreme gravitational influence, moments can dilate, stretching into what seems like eternity, while elsewhere, sequences may collapse into near-instantaneous events. For civilizations observing these phenomena, time may feel consistent and coherent, yet the underlying reality is a complex tapestry of temporal flow. Cause and effect are not discarded but enriched, creating patterns of interaction that span not just space but hidden layers of the temporal continuum. Each action echoes through multiple dimensions of reality, subtly affecting outcomes in ways that defy conventional logic. The perception of time is intimately tied to the flow of light. Photons carry information across the cosmos, tracing arcs along the curved geometry dictated by the black hole's interior. A beam of light emitted from a distant star may traverse billions of years, its path looping and bending under the influence of hidden curvature. Observers perceive these photons as straightforward indicators of location, age, and intensity, yet each carries embedded traces of the universe's deeper structure. Light thus becomes both a messenger and a historical record, revealing not only the present appearance of celestial objects but also encoding information about the gravitational architecture that shapes all motion and interaction. Observation, then, is not simply seeing, it is decoding a narrative written in the geometry of existence. Gravity in this universe is both local and cosmic, manifesting in dual roles that are intricately intertwined. Locally, gravity governs familiar phenomena, the orbits of planets, the rotational patterns of galaxies, and the tidal interactions between massive bodies. Globally, however, gravity is an echo of the parent black hole, subtly guiding large-scale structures and influencing the paths of entire galaxies. Clusters align in ways that suggest design without intent, filaments of matter stretch across vast distances according to hidden templates, and the distribution of cosmic energy follows patterns dictated by the unseen singularity. Every motion, every orbit, every collision is therefore a conversation between local forces and the overarching geometry, a delicate balance of autonomy and influence that shapes the universe at every scale. Life, in this context, emerges as a natural consequence of the universe's structure. The stability provided by the black hole's geometry allows for the formation of stars, planets, and chemical systems capable of supporting complex processes. Evolution unfolds within these parameters, guided not only by natural selection but also by the subtle constraints imposed by curvature and gravitational architecture. Life is simultaneously free and constrained, emergent and conditioned, flourishing within a framework that ensures both stability and variability. Consciousness itself may be considered a product of this interplay, a phenomenon arising from the complexity of matter, yet subtly influenced by the invisible forces shaping the universe's broader architecture. The paradox of freedom within constraint is, at every scale, the engine of existence. Civilizations evolving in this universe would confront both wonder and limitation. The night sky, filled with galaxies tracing graceful arcs and nebulae glowing in twisting patterns, evokes awe, curiosity, and a deep sense of connection. Yet the geometry that makes these observations possible also imposes boundaries on knowledge. Measurements of distance, velocity, and time are subtly affected by hidden curvature, meaning that even the most precise instruments yield results that reflect both reality and the unseen structure governing it. Scientific inquiry becomes an act of interpretation, a decoding of the universe's dual narrative, the visible cosmos and the hidden geometry that underpins it. Philosophical reflection, therefore, is inseparable from scientific exploration, and both are enriched by the awareness of the deeper, invisible architecture shaping all phenomena. Cinematic imagery captures the paradoxical beauty of this universe. Light from distant stars curves along invisible arcs, creating subtle distortions that hint at hidden forces. Shadows cast by massive structures fall at unexpected angles, reflecting the interplay between visible matter and unseen curvature. Nebulae twist and stretch in patterns that seem almost alive, while galaxies drift in trajectories choreographed by forces imperceptible to the naked eye. Observers experience the universe as vast, harmonious, and coherent, yet every feature of the cosmos carries subtle indications of the hidden boundaries that govern its behavior. The universe is simultaneously familiar and alien, a visual symphony conducted by the silent hand of geometry. Philosophically, the implications are profound. If our universe exists inside a black hole, then creation is inseparable from destruction. The singularity that consumes matter in the parent universe also generates the conditions for a new cosmos to emerge. Collapse becomes genesis, death becomes a precursor to life, and every universe may be a link in an infinite chain of nested realities. Our understanding of beginnings and endings is transformed. Each event is both an origin and a continuation, each act of formation contains within it echoes of destruction, and the universe itself is a dynamic narrative of cyclical creation. Existence becomes both a product of and participant in this larger cosmic sequence, a paradox in which beginnings and endings are intertwined across space and time. The experience of consciousness within such a universe is shaped by the hidden architecture surrounding it. Minds evolve in an environment where stability and change coexist, where patterns are predictable yet flexible, and where every observation is filtered through layers of curvature and temporal complexity. Intelligence, curiosity, and reflection are not merely biological phenomena, they are emergent properties of a universe in which freedom exists within constraints. Civilizations develop technologies, art, and philosophy that mirror the dual nature of the cosmos itself, embodying both exploration and limitation, discovery and restraint. Thought becomes an interface between the observable and the hidden, a medium through which beings navigate both reality and the invisible geometry that structures it. The duality of perception and reality is further exemplified by the behavior of light. Photons are both guides and archives, revealing stars, galaxies, and nebulae while encoding the gravitational structure that governs their motion. Observers can trace the trajectories of celestial bodies, measure cosmic expansion, and study the evolution of matter, yet each measurement is subtly influenced by the curvature of space. Shadows, reflections, and light distortions provide clues to boundaries that are otherwise inaccessible. Observation becomes a dialogue with the universe, a negotiation between what is visible and what remains hidden. Understanding emerges not through direct access to the entirety of reality, but through the careful decoding of patterns and the interpretation of signals that traverse curved paths through space and time. Existence in this universe is a constant interplay of stability and flexibility. Stars form and collapse, planets orbit and rotate, galaxies drift and collide, all within a framework that imposes subtle guidance without eliminating the possibility of variation. Life emerges within these constraints, evolving, adapting, and thriving as it navigates both local dynamics and global architecture. Consciousness develops as a response to complexity, capable of reflection, creativity, and philosophical insight. Civilizations engage with the cosmos, seeking to understand both its visible phenomena and its hidden structures, recognizing that knowledge is always partial yet infinitely expandable. Every observation, every discovery, and every act of understanding is an encounter with the paradoxical nature of existence itself. The inside black hole universe invites awe, wonder, and contemplation. The night sky is a living canvas, a stage upon which matter, energy, and light perform within the constraints of hidden geometry. Nebulae glow in twisting, fluid forms, galaxies trace arcs shaped by curvature, and photons carry both information and illusion across unimaginable distances. Observers experience a cosmos that is vast, coherent, and aesthetically breathtaking, yet every moment is shaped by the subtle influence of invisible boundaries. The universe is both seen and unseen, known and mysterious, a testament to the delicate interplay of freedom, constraint, and cosmic design. Every particle, every trajectory, and every photon becomes a storyteller, revealing both the grandeur of the observable universe and the subtle forces that shape it. Ultimately, contemplating this interior universe transforms our understanding of reality, time, and existence. We are not mere passive inhabitants of an open, infinite cosmos. We are participants in a structured, layered, and dynamic system shaped by forces beyond perception. Freedom exists within boundaries, life emerges within constraints, and consciousness arises in response to complexity. Every event, every discovery, and every observation is part of a larger narrative orchestrated by invisible geometry, a story that blends science, philosophy, and imagination. To live within such a universe is to engage with paradox, to navigate the tension between autonomy and structure, and to witness the breathtaking beauty of a cosmos both familiar and profoundly alien. Existence itself becomes a celebration of complexity, a dance between freedom and guidance, and a testament to the unimaginable creativity of a universe born within a black hole. Within a universe born from a black hole, the very fabric of reality is a tapestry woven from paradox and subtle orchestration. Space and time, while seemingly ordinary to inhabitants, are shaped by invisible forces, bending, stretching, and curving along paths dictated by the parent singularity. Every celestial motion, from the orbit of a planet to the drift of galaxies, is influenced by this hidden geometry, producing a universe that feels infinite, coherent, and familiar, yet is secretly bounded. Light travels along curved trajectories, casting shadows and reflections that hint at structures beyond direct perception, while gravity both governs local interactions and guides the large-scale architecture of matter. To exist within such a universe is to live in a delicate balance of freedom and constraint, autonomy and subtle design. The emergence of stars and galaxies is a testament to the interplay of order and chaos within this hidden framework. Stellar nurseries condense from clouds of gas and dust, igniting nuclear fusion that brings light to the cosmos. Their formation is influenced by local gravitational dynamics, yet the global curvature imposed by the parent black hole subtly shapes their trajectories, interactions, and ultimate destinies. Galaxies cluster along cosmic filaments, rotate in arcs dictated by unseen forces, and evolve through collisions and mergers, all within a system that appears organic yet carries the imprint of higher dimensional structure. The universe is both natural and orchestrated, a blend of spontaneous evolution and geometric guidance. Time, as experienced by civilizations within this universe, is both intuitive and complex. Days, seasons, and years unfold predictably, allowing life, culture, and history to develop. Yet the underlying temporal landscape is layered and multidimensional. Near regions of intense gravitational influence, time can stretch or compress, creating localized phenomena that defy linear expectation. Events in distant regions may be subtly correlated, connected by the curvature of space and the influence of the parent singularity. The perception of continuity remains intact, but the deeper temporal structure imbues existence with subtle nuances, where cause and effect ripple across layers of spacetime, linking distant phenomena in ways that seem almost magical yet are grounded in physics. Light is the medium through which the universe communicates both its beauty and its hidden structure. Photons curve along paths dictated by geometry, revealing stars, nebulae, and galaxies while simultaneously encoding the shape of the space they traverse. Shadows fall at unexpected angles, reflections appear where they seem impossible, and subtle distortions hint at boundaries invisible to direct observation. Observation becomes an act of interpretation, a decoding of signals that blend visible reality with hidden architecture. Every photon is a messenger, carrying both information about the cosmos and traces of the forces shaping it, reminding inhabitants that perception is always a negotiation between what is seen and what remains unseen. The behavior of matter within this universe is similarly influenced by dual forces. Local interactions govern the orbits of planets, the rotation of galaxies, and the formation of complex structures. Global forces, rooted in the curvature imposed by the parent black hole, influence the alignment of galaxy clusters, the distribution of cosmic filaments, and the large-scale movement of matter. This duality creates a universe that feels both autonomous and guided, natural yet orchestrated. Collisions, mergers, and other cosmic events unfold with apparent spontaneity, yet beneath the surface, patterns emerge that reflect the subtle hand of higher dimensional influence. The universe is alive with order within apparent chaos, coherence within unpredictability. Life emerges as a natural product of this environment. The stability provided by the hidden geometry allows chemical systems to form, stars to ignite, and planets to sustain conditions suitable for organic evolution. Biological complexity arises within these constraints, giving rise to organisms capable of adaptation, intelligence, and consciousness. Life is both spontaneous and conditioned, flourishing in the balance between freedom and limitation. Civilizations develop within this framework, exploring, discovering, and creating while subtly guided by the architecture that governs the cosmos. Every act of cognition, every technological advance, every philosophical reflection is shaped by the interplay of autonomy and structure, freedom and constraint. Civilizations observing this universe would encounter a sky of breathtaking beauty, a stage upon which light, matter, and energy perform in choreographed patterns. Galaxies swirl along arcs defined by curvature, nebulae twist in luminous, fluid forms, and stars ignite and collapse in sequences shaped by forces invisible to direct perception. Shadows fall in ways that hint at hidden boundaries, and light bends to reveal both the familiar and the alien. Observers experience awe, wonder, and a subtle sense of disquiet, recognizing that reality is both comprehensible and profoundly mysterious. Every observation is both an encounter with the known and an acknowledgement of the unseen. Philosophically, the universe inside a black hole challenges conventional notions of creation, causality, and continuity. Collapse and genesis are inseparable, destruction gives rise to life, and every universe may be part of an infinite recursive sequence of nested realities. The singularity that absorbs matter in the parent universe simultaneously generates conditions for a new cosmos to emerge. This dynamic reframes our understanding of beginnings and endings, suggesting that existence is not a linear sequence but a continuum, where each event is both an origin and a continuation. Life, consciousness, and civilizations are not accidents but products of this intricate cosmic narrative, participating in a sequence of creation that stretches beyond perception. The paradox of freedom within constraint defines existence within this universe. Space appears infinite but is bounded, time flows coherently yet is layered and multidimensional, light illuminates while encoding hidden structures, and life emerges spontaneously within a framework that conditions its evolution. This interplay between autonomy and design is not a limitation but the engine of complexity, creativity, and consciousness. The universe becomes a dynamic, living system, where patterns emerge naturally within constraints, and beauty arises from the tension between freedom and guidance. Every particle, photon, and trajectory is both a result of local dynamics and a reflection of the overarching geometry, a testament to the duality that governs existence. Observation in this universe is both a privilege and a challenge. Civilizations seeking to understand reality must interpret light that has traversed curved paths, measurements influenced by hidden forces, and phenomena shaped by both local and global dynamics. Science, philosophy, and art become intertwined endeavors, each engaging with the visible and the hidden, the immediate and the layered. Knowledge is always partial, always contextual, yet infinitely expandable. Exploration becomes a dialogue between what can be seen and what must be inferred, a process of decoding the universe's dual narrative and understanding the subtle hand that shapes all matter, energy, and life. Cinematic visualization captures the paradoxical beauty of this cosmos. Galaxies spiral along invisible curves, nebulae twist in luminous, flowing forms, and stars ignite and collapse in sequences dictated by hidden geometry. Light bends, shadows fall at unexpected angles, and cosmic structures appear both harmonious and alien. The night sky evokes awe, curiosity, and a profound sense of connection, revealing a universe that is at once familiar and deeply mysterious. Observers are reminded that reality is simultaneously accessible and veiled, that freedom coexists with constraint, and that beauty arises from the interplay of visible phenomena and hidden structure. Every photon, particle, and celestial body contributes to a living, dynamic narrative, a cosmic symphony orchestrated by geometry and paradox. Ultimately, contemplating the universe inside a black hole reshapes our understanding of existence, perception, and cosmic structure. Freedom exists within boundaries, life emerges within constraints, and consciousness arises in response to complexity. Every event, every interaction, and every observation participates in a larger narrative orchestrated by hidden forces. The universe is both comprehensible and mysterious, familiar and alien, autonomous and guided. To inhabit such a cosmos is to witness the delicate balance of freedom and constraint, order and chaos, light and shadow, a universe that celebrates complexity, creativity, and the profound beauty of existence within a structure that both limits and enables. Inside a black hole-contained universe, the cosmos is a delicate interplay of freedom and structure. Matter behaves according to familiar physical laws but is subtly guided by hidden geometry. Stars ignite along curved paths, planets form and drift, and galaxies rotate in patterns that reveal invisible forces shaping the universe. Collisions, mergers, and cosmic evolution appear spontaneous yet are orchestrated within this underlying framework, producing a balance between chaos and order that allows complexity to emerge naturally. Time flows in layers. Civilizations perceive coherent sequences, days, seasons, and years, while hidden temporal structures link distant events. Near regions of intense gravity, moments stretch and linger. Elsewhere they compress, creating sequences that appear instantaneous. Cause and effect operate across multiple scales, connecting phenomena in ways that challenge classical intuition. Civilizations navigate this temporal complexity, interpreting immediate experiences while sensing deeper, hidden correlations. Knowledge, culture, and consciousness develop within this multidimensional temporal fabric. Gravity shapes existence at both local and global scales. Planetary orbits, stellar rotations, and interstellar interactions reflect immediate influence, while galaxy clusters and cosmic filaments align according to hidden curvature. Light illuminates these structures, bending and refracting, casting shadows that hint at unseen forces. Observation becomes a dialogue between the visible and the hidden, revealing layers of complexity and subtle orchestration. Life emerges naturally within this environment. Evolution occurs in response to constraints and opportunities, producing organisms capable of intelligence, adaptation, and consciousness. Civilizations develop technologies, philosophies, and art that reflect the tension between autonomy and guidance. Every act of creation, perception, and discovery is informed by this delicate balance. In this universe, autonomy exists within structure, freedom within limitation, and order within apparent chaos. Observers witness a cosmos that is coherent yet mysterious, beautiful yet enigmatic, where light, matter, time, and consciousness interact to produce a living, evolving, and profoundly awe-inspiring reality. Inside a black hole-contained universe, reality is both astonishing and disorienting. Stars blaze across invisible arcs, galaxies drift along unseen paths, and light twists as it travels, bending around the hidden curvature of spacetime. Matter obeys known physical laws yet is subtly guided, creating patterns that appear spontaneous but emerge from an underlying structure. Every collision, merger, and formation contributes to a cosmic choreography, a balance between chaos and order, freedom and constraint. Time flows differently across regions. Near intense gravitational fields, moments stretch and linger, while elsewhere, sequences compress, creating the sensation of sudden events. Cause and effect operate on multiple scales, linking distant phenomena in ways that challenge linear intuition. Civilizations experience coherent history while navigating hidden temporal connections, interpreting events that ripple across space-time, and developing knowledge, culture, and consciousness in response. Gravity functions as both sculptor and conductor. Locally, it governs orbits, rotations, and interactions. Globally, it aligns galaxies and structures cosmic filaments. The universe feels autonomous yet subtly guided, producing emergent complexity at every scale. Light carries the story, illuminating stars, nebulae, and galaxies, while simultaneously encoding information about the hidden architecture of reality. Shadows, reflections, and distortions hint at forces beyond perception, transforming observation into both revelation and philosophical inquiry. Life emerges naturally within this intricate environment. Evolution unfolds in response to constraints and opportunities, producing intelligence, consciousness, and civilizations capable of interpreting the cosmos. Every act of creation, scientific, artistic, or philosophical, is influenced by the interplay of freedom and structure. Observers witness a universe that is coherent yet mysterious, autonomous yet guided, where beauty, complexity, and subtle orchestration coexist. Within a black hole universe, existence is a delicate balance of autonomy and invisible guidance. Matter follows physical laws yet moves along trajectories influenced by hidden geometry. Stars ignite and collapse, planets form and galaxies drift, all in patterns shaped by unseen curvature. Events appear spontaneous but are subtly orchestrated, creating a universe that is both chaotic and harmonious. Time is flexible and layered. Linear perception allows civilizations to organize life and measure history, yet deep temporal structures connect distant events. Moments stretch near massive gravitational fields and compress elsewhere. Cause and effect unfold across multiple scales, linking phenomena that seem unrelated. Conscious beings navigate this temporal complexity, perceiving immediate sequences while sensing connections that span vast distances, constructing knowledge and culture in response. Gravity shapes both local and global reality. Planetary orbits, stellar rotations and interactions operate within local influence, while galaxy clusters, cosmic filaments and large-scale flows reflect the underlying curvature. Light illuminates this structure, bending and refracting, casting shadows that reveal the subtle architecture of spacetime. Observation becomes an interactive process, a dialogue between the visible and hidden, the immediate and subtle, the autonomous and guided. Life emerges within these constraints. Evolution produces organisms capable of adaptation, intelligence and consciousness. Civilizations develop philosophies, technology and culture, navigating freedom within structure. Every act of creativity, discovery and perception reflects this delicate balance. Existence in such a universe evokes awe, contemplation and wonder. Autonomy exists within structure, order emerges within chaos, and every particle, photon and event contributes to a narrative that is both intelligible and mysterious. Observers participate in a cosmos that blends science, philosophy and beauty, where every interaction reflects the subtle orchestration underlying reality. The universe inside a black hole challenges everything we assume about reality. Stars, planets, and galaxies exist within a framework where freedom and hidden structure coexist. Matter follows known laws but is subtly guided by the curvature of space-time, forming complex patterns across cosmic scales. Stars ignite along paths dictated by unseen geometry, galaxies drift along invisible arcs, and cosmic filaments align in ways that hint at forces beyond perception. Every event, collisions, mergers, planetary formation, is both spontaneous and orchestrated, a dance between chaos and order. Time is equally fluid. Civilizations experience linear sequences, days, seasons, years, while hidden temporal layers allow moments to stretch or compress near regions of intense gravity. Cause and effect operate across scales, connecting events that appear separate. Conscious beings navigate both immediate and distant correlations, interpreting reality through observation and insight. Light conveys both revelation and mystery. Photons bend, refract, and cast unexpected shadows, encoding the hidden architecture of the universe. Observation becomes an interactive process, where seeing is interpreting, and every measurement reveals layers of complexity. Life emerges naturally within these constraints. Stars, planets, and chemical networks provide the conditions for evolution, producing intelligent, adaptive beings. Civilizations develop technologies, philosophies, and cultures, shaped by both freedom and subtle guidance. Every act of creation, scientific or artistic, is an expression of this interplay. In this universe, autonomy and structure coexist, producing a cosmos that is coherent yet mysterious. Existence becomes a balance between freedom and limitation, order and chaos. Observers witness a living, evolving universe where light, matter, time and consciousness interact to reveal complexity, beauty and hidden design, inviting awe, wonder and philosophical reflection. Inside a black hole, the cosmos is both majestic and enigmatic. Stars spiral along invisible paths, nebulae twist in fluid luminous forms, and galaxies drift in choreographed arcs. Matter evolves under physical laws while hidden geometry shapes trajectories, mergers and collisions. Every particle, every photon, every event participates in a larger narrative, blending apparent randomness with subtle orchestration. Time flows differently across regions. Near strong gravity it stretches, elsewhere it compresses. Cause and effect extend across distances, linking phenomena in ways that challenge intuition. Civilizations perceive linearity yet sense connections that span deep temporal layers. Knowledge, culture, and consciousness develop within this complex temporal fabric. Gravity functions as both local ruler and cosmic conductor. Planetary orbits, stellar rotations, and galactic dynamics reflect immediate influence, while clusters and filaments align according to hidden architecture. Light becomes the bridge to understanding, bending, refracting, and casting shadows that reveal the universe's subtle patterns. Observation is active, requiring interpretation and imagination, revealing both visible phenomena and concealed structures. Life and civilizations emerge naturally. Evolution unfolds within constraints, producing intelligence capable of creation, adaptation, and reflection. Autonomy and guidance coexist. Freedom exists within boundaries. Every act of perception, discovery, or creation reflects this balance. Civilizations interpret the cosmos, exploring the interplay of visible and hidden forces. Existence is a paradox of order and chaos, freedom and structure. Observers navigate a universe that is intelligible yet mysterious, familiar yet alien, finding beauty, complexity, and coherence amid subtle orchestration. The universe inside a black hole is a theater of paradox. Celestial bodies move freely yet are subtly guided by hidden geometry. Stars ignite along invisible paths, nebulae twist and glow, and galaxies drift in choreographed arcs, creating beauty that is both spontaneous and orchestrated. Matter, energy, and light interact within constraints that allow complexity and emergent phenomena. Time is layered. Linear perception allows civilizations to organize life and culture, while deeper temporal structures connect distant events. Moments can stretch or compress depending on gravity, and cause and effect operate across multiple scales, linking phenomena that seem unrelated. Civilizations interpret immediate experiences and hidden correlations, constructing knowledge and understanding. Gravity shapes both local and global structures. Planetary orbits, stellar dynamics, and galactic rotation reflect local influence, while clusters, filaments, and cosmic flows follow underlying geometric architecture. Light conveys both information and mystery, bending, refracting, and casting shadows that hint at hidden forces. Observers interact with reality through observation, interpretation, and imagination. Life emerges naturally. Evolution unfolds within constraints, producing organisms capable of intelligence and adaptation. Civilizations develop philosophies, technology, and art, navigating the tension between autonomy and guidance. Every act of observation or creation reflects this balance. Inhabitants of this universe witness a cosmos that is at once coherent and mysterious. Autonomy exists within structure, order within chaos, and freedom within limitation. Every photon, particle, and event participates in a narrative that blends science, philosophy, and awe, inviting reflection on existence itself and revealing the subtle design woven into the fabric of reality.